Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Rams House Podcast. Your host, Ethan, being joined by my co-host, Joe and OJ. What's going on, guys?
What's up? What's up?
Oh no, long time no see, man. Long time no
Yeah,
see.
we've had
It's
the
been
flu bug
yeah,
going around. Pretty much all of us have had the flu in the last month or so.
yeah, yeah,
We missed last week's episode, but we still have enough time to get out what we need to get out before the draft. Today, we're going to be covering tackles, both sides, and inside linebackers. And next week, we'll be covering corners and safeties. And we'll be doing a mock draft, and then we'll be ready for the draft. After that, what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be starting a new channel on YouTube. The one we're currently using is like 6 or 7 years old, and we're pretty sure the algorithm is just booting us out because the channel didn't produce any content for so long. So we're going to be making a new YouTube channel. We're going to be making a new Twitter account. Kind of give us all a fresh start. We kind of had a nice little year this will be a full year of content we've made to kind of get our legs out underneath us and kind of get steady. So we're really excited about a fresh start and getting this thing rolling in the right direction. We appreciate you guys watching, and we can't wait to see you guys on the new channel. But today we're going to be talking about tackles and inside linebackers. We're really excited about this. These are two positions of need, especially long term. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to get started with tackles. And here is our list. We didn't go too in depth into this because there isn't that many great ones. We'll just do a quick rundown. We've highlighted the three guys that we're going to be watching film tonight and the three guys that we think is the most realistic and best guys for the Rams to get. Now, obviously, if we could jump up and get Will Campbell, that would be incredible. We obviously just signed Larry Jackson to an extension, so that seems very unlikely. He's a bona fide top 5 pick. He's a super stud. He's not quite generational, but he's an absolute stud. He's not in that like Penei Sewell, Joe Alt kind of generational talent, but he's kind of a little step below that. Still an absolute monster. Kelvin Banks, we kind of agreed across the board. He wasn't a guy that we would feel comfortable taking in the first round. He looks like a decent left tackle, but not a guy that you spend a first-round pick on. Simmons, we all agreed was overrated, and it's ironic because we watched his film a while ago before the Raz and the Combine stuff was out, and we all agreed he just doesn't seem athletic enough for playing left tackle, and then he ended up having a 0.59 Raz. One of the worst scores ever for a tackle. It's pretty wild. Then we have Ariante Ursary from Minnesota. We actually really like him as a prospect. We all kind of agreed he's very athletic. He's pretty raw, and so we gave him a lower score in the Rams fit was because we don't we're kind of in win now mode, and he's a left tackle, not a great fit for us currently, even though his style of play is a nice fit. We think he's worthy of a second round pick. Again, he's too raw for spending a first round pick for us for our money. Wyatt Millam from West Virginia just seems too slow, and it might sound mean, but he just doesn't seem smart enough to play at left tackle. He just seems seems lost and a bit confused. Just not a guy we would pretty much not touch with a 6-foot pole. We gave him a projected draft spot of 6th round. And then now we get to Armand Membu from Mizzou, who we all really liked. And we basically likened him to being the right tackle version of Will Campbell, an absolute stud, just a step below generational. But he is now being projected to go in the top 10. And I do not see the Rams trading up to the top 10 to draft a right tackle. Now we get down to the three guys that we more realistically have a shot at getting. Josh Connerly is a left tackle for Oregon. As you guys can see, we really like the film. He's pretty athletic. We have him as a little bit of a lower fit because for us, he wasn't quite what we're looking for at left tackle long term without some development. I think he more properly switches over to right tackle and works out long term there.
He had some technique issues with his hand placement, for what I remember.
Correct.
So,
and we'll see that in the film. But we do like him as either a long-term option at left tackle or as a long-term option at right tackle. Just But we really liked him. He's top tier. Ozzy Tripillo from Boston College. We liked him a little bit less in the film, but right tackle as a future prospect, very athletic. We like that a lot. And then Cameron Williams was our second favorite right tackle option for the Rams, and he's being projected in like the 4th or 5th round now. So he could be a real steal. You draft
This is
him,
my diamond in the rough.
you let him sit for 1 or 2 years under Havenstein, and he could end up being a stud. Just like Havenstein is kind of a just below Pro Bowl level right tackle. If you're talking about a top 10 right tackle still, he kind of not like a top 3 guy, not a top 5 guy, but bottom of the top 10 kind of guy. So really solid. And you're talking about getting him in the 4th or 5th round. It's a steal. So let's go ahead and get into the film. We'll start, of course, by taking a look at where are we at here? Hold on.
I think we're doing Josh Connolly.
Yeah, we're gonna start. Oh, so we wanted to show you the rats for Armand Membu. This guy is an athletic freak of nature.
Oh yeah, insane Raz. Bro.
I mean, this guy's gonna be really good. 6'4", 332 at left tackle. Insane. I mean, everything. He's a monster. Really long arms, big hands, like really sick. But we're gonna start with Josh Connerly here, and he is huge hands, almost 10.5 inches, long arms, 33.5, 6'4", 311. He's a little bit on the lighter side, which is fine for a left tackle. He's a little bit he's pretty short for a left tackle, but you're talking about 6'4" for a left tackle is not great height. You're usually wanting at least 6'6", 6'7", if not even taller than that. But very quick and fast. He's solid. Like he's solid, and he's a guy who maybe could develop into more because he does have that speed. So let's go ahead and jump into the film for Josh Connerly.
Yeah, and real quick, Josh wanted to give some context.
Sure.
You know, some people feel different about PFF, but I just want to, like I said, I just want to give some context. So he had an overall 79 overall grade pass blocking. He had an 83.3 pass blocking grade, a 72 run blocking grade, and then he only allowed 10 total pressures this year. All this according to PFF. So solid, not too bad.
He's legit. He's no joke. So let's take a look at left tackle Josh Connerly, and we do think he could move over. Now, one of the issues that we had with him, if I'm remembering correctly, is that
it was like the technique.
Yeah, it was his technique. So if you notice here, he doesn't properly extend his arm. So actually, the funny thing about it is that when we were first watching his film, we thought he actually had shorter arms because he just wasn't really extending it. But when we actually searched up his arm length, he actually had pretty long arms. So it's kind of interesting. Like,
to kind of put it in layman's terms, he's not using what is really elite arm length efficiently enough. He's not making use of that really good arm length. So, but he's quick, he's fast, he's got good footwork. We would just like to we would like to see him extend his arms further and use them a bit more violently. We like left tackles especially, but both tackles to be able to use their arms violently. And like you're gonna see a lot like this play where he doesn't really like he could instead of punching here, instead of using his arms, his length, his strength to punch, he kind of just gets engaged. And he does a fine job. But the guys at the NFL level are stronger, and they're better at shedding these kinds of blocks. And you see that guy actually ends up making the tackle. He could have displaced him more and created more separation. And what that allows you to do at this second level, if you create this place, create separation, it allows you to move your body on the inside and then become a barrier between the defender and the ball carrier. So the weak arm technique and power there kind of creates that opening for the defender. And you kind of see it again here where he's like, it's another play where there's really weak arm technique here. And it causes the guy, because his arms aren't extended at all. And the guy gets back into the play. And obviously he doesn't make the tackle, but he gets himself back into the play. And that shouldn't be the case. Even here, he could really
we notice
he could be called for a hold because his arms aren't extended.
He's basically hugging the edge here. In the
100%.
NFL level, that's probably being called as a hold.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely is. This is all a hold at the NFL level.
And here's the thing, though, right? That's something, though, that is very fixable.
Yeah.
With good NFL coaching, you can fix that. So at the end of the day, he still has a lot of potential. He's athletic. He's quick. He's fast. One thing, like if we notice a lot of the Oregon's offense, you run a lot of screens, quick passes, so we're going to see him on the move. So he's really good in open space.
By the way, that was a much better rep from him. Let's take a look at that again. Much better rep.
So the Rams, they love to, obviously we know the Rams love to run a lot of bubble screens, quick outs, stuff like that. So he would be good for that.
I love watching the left tackle pull, and he does a great job getting into the space here.
Yeah, this is one of the main positives I liked about him, and it shows like with the RAS scores, athleticism. He's very quick on his feet. He gets to his spots. He's very good at motioning in certain plays.
The one part we see from him
that was
better is when it comes to getting speed guys off the edge who are trying to get around deep. He's really good at holding those guys off.
That right there we saw that last play was a better technique for him when he was extending his arms. That's what we want to see from him.
By the way, that was his best run blocking play of the whole film session so far. He gets his arms extended. He creates space with the first guy right here. It's hard to see. His arms are extended, and then he moves to the second guy right there and gets that done as well. So that's probably one of his best run blocking. Again,
I mean, that right there to me is the pulling. I love the pull, especially in this offense, and the way we like our tackles to move, the way we like our whole line to move. He fits that like a glove, really. I think that's why.
Yeah, we run a lot of that zone run scheme, and a lot of it is with pulling guards, pulling tackles. Whoever is pulling
the reasons why we have him a little bit lower as a Rams fit is because the technique issues that he has really lower his prospecting as a left tackle right now until he works on that. And then he doesn't seem to have the violence and the power to play right tackle. So like in a Rams uniform, I wouldn't feel comfortable with him starting at either tackle spot this year. And maybe in next year, it really just depends on his development.
I mean, if a large most likely is going to be here maybe for this year and next. So if we set him for a year or two, that wouldn't be a bad idea. He can probably
then you run into the problem where he's being drafted too high too.
See, that's only if you're right about that.
That's the thing, though, right?
We draft him.
Let's see where he's
that depends where we draft him, right? So we're gonna show his projected ranking here.
This is projected ranking. So he's being drafted early second, and that's the main concern.
That's the concern. Yeah.
If the Rams
pick him by 2 years, that got to be like a 4th round pick or something.
Yeah.
I mean, if the Rams draft him in the first or trade down and draft him, I'm not going to be mad because I think he's a solid talent, but it's not our preference. If he was a little bit more NFL ready, I think, or a little bit more violent and technically sound, I think we would be much more into it. Or if he falls a bit and he goes into the early third area, like I wouldn't be mad about taking him there. So there's a lot of like scenarios where you gotta have to consider that. But we really like his upside. It's one of those guys where like you don't want him where he's being drafted, but you wouldn't be mad if he drafted him because you believe he could be good in the future.
Yeah. And especially we also have Ryan Wendell's a great O-line coach. He's basically fixed up a lot of our issues that we've had there, and he's developed guys.
Yeah, man, you give Ryan Wendell a guy who already athletically is elite, and just say, hey, and he can already swing, he can already go out really well. You're just like, hey, you just need to work on his arm technique because if you look at his footwork's actually pretty good. It's really
what honestly his
aggressiveness of his arms and the power in his arms is really, and his placement obviously, but it's just his arms.
Being able to move like this, that's impressive, dude.
Yeah, he's good. Well, we're being a little bit. But by the way, like this right here, there's not a lot of left tackles in the NFL who can do this.
Yep.
Like the speed at which he's moving, I do like. See, it's just he gets beat on with his hand. And his hand, like when you talk about the hand fighting on the D line, he's losing the hand fighting battles more than he's winning.
It's crazy because you watch his footwork and then you watch his hand placement. It's like night and day. Like he has such amazing just quickness on it because obviously he tested with the combine. He's very quick on his feet. He had a good 10-yard split.
His feet never stop moving either.
His feet never stop stooping exactly. He gets in his stance quickly, but he just kind of sometimes he just waits for the edge to engage, and you don't initiate engage, and you don't want to do that. You want to first initiate and control the play.
Oftentimes, because these guys are so strong, both sides of the line, oftentimes the person to initiate and engage first is going to have a balance advantage because that initial engagement is going to cause the person who's being engaged to go off balance. Obviously, if you have the power or the technique. And so when you're the second guy to engage, you're oftentimes being moved off balance instead of vice versa. Like when you watch elite left tackles, they're regularly getting guys off balance. They're knocking guys off their spot. And this guy isn't doing that. He's much better at using his feet to contain, but he's not using his power to move them off of their center of gravity and off balance.
Yep.
But really has high upside. He's got the long arms. You know, even strength is something he could build because he's a bit of on the smaller side, isn't he? He's 311. He has the frame to
he's
really get up to
311,
325, I think.
6'4.5", yeah.
So
he could in NFL, like what's it called? Nutritional weight, strength and conditioning, like coaching, like he can easily add 10 extra pounds.
100%. And if he does that, especially to his arms and his upper body, because really his lower body's set. You see the way he moves, the way he carries, like he's set. I think it would do him wonders. And then just the coaching on being more aggressive and to be the engager would do him wonders. So you guys get kind of an idea why we're pretty stoked about him. Next guy on our list is going to be Ozzy Trapillo from Boston College. I'm moving to the right side. Now these guys are a whole different animal, right? So let's take a look at his RAS score. 6'8", 316. I love he has 10.5-inch hands, 33 inch. Dude, he's a big dude. Also, he's not slow. He's not fast, but he's not slow. And then but he's quick. Look at that 10-yard split. Absolutely solid. And
that's the main thing, right? It's not
100%. You don't need a 40 speed from an O-lineman.
You don't care about a 40 speed. The main thing is a 10-yard split because that shows how quickly you can get into your stance.
I do think this is a guy that if we drafted, let's take a look real quick where he's getting drafted at currently. So we saw Connolly's at the bottom of the first.
Yeah.
This guy is getting drafted quite a bit later, I believe. Yeah, we're talking about a late third, a mid third kind of guy, late mid third, and let's watch. There's not a good one. We might have to cut this early. It's almost 9 minutes.
Yeah. And let me real quick.
Yeah, sure.
Let me do his. I guess I'll do his PFF stuff as well. So he had a 75 overall grade, 81 passing. His run blocking was he had a 67 run blocking grade, but he only allowed 16 total pressures. So.
Okay. And playing with a pretty mediocre school. So here he is lined up at right tackle. You'll notice him easily because he's gigantic. He's far and away the biggest guy in the field. At 6'8", 6'9". Now he didn't really test great on the bench, but he's a people mover. Look.
Now here's the thing: this guy is the kind of the opposite of Connerly, where he just moves guys and he's aggressive.
He's aggressive. He's a people mover. He's huge. He can definitely add some strength and some bulk to his size without really sacrificing any of his quickness. That was a great block, double block there. He gets the first guy. Look how fast he moves guys. Watch him move this guy. It's kind of a double block, but still. Then he switches off to the linebacker and he pushes this guy back. I mean, Boston College isn't struggling because of him. He is doing his job. And that's what you want. See, when you're talking about making a block, when the run it's a counter, right? The run is coming back in. He creates a barrier between the defender and where the run. Now, obviously, the other guys aren't doing their job, but he ends up
going to the whistle blow.
Do you see that? To the whistle ends up pancaking the guy. So that's what you want to see.
Yeah, man, you keep going.
And you see the way he uses it. Like this is a good contrast from Connerly. The way he uses his arms. Look at he keeps this guy off balance and at length.
The technique here is honestly amazing. This is NFL level technique right here. Watch this. Instantly he engages and he's just holding him by his shoulder pads.
And he kind of manhandles this
again here. He's kind of just he even pushes that guy to the ground. Like he just
look at that switch. Beautifully handled.
His arms like look huge as well. Like he just it's crazy because he's not like he's 6'8", 311. He didn't do crazy on the bench, and he can even add to that. I think he can get stronger.
Oh, he can add 20 pounds easy. But
that's the crazy thing about it.
Look at this one though. He kind of screws up on this play because he kind of doesn't decide who to go for, and he kind of goes in the middle. Then he decides to go for 7. He's really out of position, but look, he shoves this guy. Look how far he displaces this guy just with a little shove. Like he's out of the play because he's just got such long, strong arms. He handles.
Yeah, it's a similar thing here.
He handles.
He just manhandles dudes who try to bull rush.
You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of one Rob Havenstein.
Yeah, that's what we said. He's just
because Rob Havenstein's he's a bruiser. He's a tall, lean bruiser. Yeah,
this guy in the run game isn't like incredible, but that's why he's a right tackle and not a left tackle.
Yeah,
if he had great footwork, he'd be a left tackle. He has okay footwork, but he's the opposite of Connolly. And I think footwork is a little bit easier to teach than the aggressiveness. Like you can run drills to make people better with their footwork. You can't really run drills to give people a more aggressive mindset. Yeah. He wants to always be the first one to the punch. He uses his arm lengths. He's aggressively getting guys off balance. Like look, he's like shoving a whole pile. Like look at this. He ends up pushing his guy. He creates the barrier, and then he's just like shoving his guy into 4 other defenders.
We gave this guy a 7.5.
Yeah, the reason we gave him a 7.5 is
I'm trying to remember why did we do that. So I mean, honestly, I think he's an 8.
I agree.
At least rewatching the film, because sometimes like when you rewatch the film, you kind of get a different perspective.
Yeah, it's true.
He seems more of an 8 because he's just. I'm especially noticing the aggressiveness because I'm thinking as well like the way that we, with our offense and how we run the ball, we know like Dotson and Have how much of a bruisers they are and how much we love to run to that side.
I remember why we had him like that because his ceiling, he doesn't have a high ceiling.
Yeah,
he seems more like a.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, that like Rob, like you said, Rob Havenstein, like a decent.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Above average tackle.
Yeah, we have him basically. His potential is basically anywhere from like 8 to 15 as a right tackle.
Yeah, so he's not. He doesn't have the. It's great, and that's completely fine. I mean, you don't have to have a superstar left tackle. We've seen that with Have.
Right tackle, yeah.
You just need a right tackle. I mean, you just need a guy who does his job, and especially with our offense, we need a right tackle to be a guy who's physical in the run game. Dotson is going to want to have a partner who's going to, especially whoever we have as running back. Hopefully, it's not Kyron in the coming futures. Hopefully, it's not. But we love to run on that side, so having a partner with him and being able to create those holes in that zone run is exactly what we need.
Is he not a master of turning people and creating a barrier with his body?
No,
he does it on like every inside run play.
Every run play I've noticed, he's just turning guys, pushing guys to the side, just being aggressive. He's being a bully. That's what you want. That's what you want him.
Between him and Connerly, like the hand placement is world's difference to me.
Yeah, it honestly is. It's crazy.
We're moving up to.
I honestly think he's an 8, man. Because even though he doesn't have the potential, but he's still good at the end of the day. He's still good. He does his job.
He might have more potential than we gave him credit for. He's huge and long, and that is one of the biggest things for being an offensive lineman, especially a tackle. Maybe
we might be putting a bit too. We might be being a bit harsh on his potential. Yeah, because watching the film again. Because I'm thinking as well, like his fit, he just perfectly fits. He's like a basically perfect replacement for Rob in that sense.
No, and also, bro, Boston College was a run-heavy team, so he played in a run-heavy scheme. So he would really be right up Shawnee Valley.
You know what? This is the wrong one. I'm gonna even these boys out. I think because they really are even, don't you think?
Yeah, that's fair because
I really think they're even.
Connerly, at the end of the day, he does have potential, but he has a technique issue with his hands. So.
And Connerly's shorter at 6'4". Like that's not.
He's also shorter. Yeah, he's also shorter.
I think they kind of have offsetting strengths and weaknesses, but they're basically on the same playing field. This is why we watch tape again. This is why we, and never be afraid to change your mind and to adjust as you kind of learn more and observe more.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's the whole part of watching film,
Like not to get off topic, but real quick, that's what happened to us with Jared Verse. When we watched Jared Verse, we talked about in the beginning how Dallas Turner was better, but then towards the end we were like, dude, Jared Verse is the best edge.
True.
And he's gonna be the best edge in this draft.
Absolutely.
That's how it goes sometimes.
Because you know why? Because Dallas and Jared are very similar in their athleticism. They're very similar in their tech, in their base fundamental techniques. But what Jared Verse had was a larger repertoire of moves, and he had a motor and a physicality and he's almost like the
Honestly,
angry
it's
run
more
version of a pass
with
rusher.
Verse, it's not even just like for me. The difference for him was not even just it was kind of not even just a football thing. It was more of his mindset.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
He
That's what
has
I'm trying
that
to say.
mindset that's perfect for that position.
He's more aggressive and more
Exactly.
tenacious. Tenacious is the good word. He's more tenacious.
Tenacious.
Than
Yeah, he's more tenacious. Yeah.
We're not going to go through this whole thing. This is a pretty long video. At
Yeah.
least 9 minutes,
I mean, we have a good idea. Like he's a bruiser. He's a bully. He's aggressive. He's not a superstar. He does have potential, but he has potential to be basically a Rob Havenstein.
Correct. And now the next guy, Cameron Williams.
This guy
is the guy we
the
think
diamond in
now
the rough.
we don't have his stuff, but he's 6'5.5", 317, good size. Look at his hands, dude. Far and away the biggest hands. Look at the arms.
He's huge.
His hands are an inch bigger
man.
than every other tackle we saw, and his arms are an inch longer than every other guy we saw. This guy looks like a big dude playing amongst boys. Like he really does.
Yeah, man. Let me do his PFF real quick. For Cameron Williams.
If you want to quickly pull up Ethan, his projected placement.
So with Cam, he got a 74 overall grade, 76 pass blocking, a nice run blocking score, a 71 run blocking score, and he allowed 22 total pressures. So
this is the reason
Cameron had a nice year.
This is the reason we're most excited about Cameron Williams is because he has plummeted in the drafts. He could easily be gotten with one of our comp picks in the third or an early fourth round pick. But
we do have a lot of comp picks, yeah.
Look at this guy, guys. This guy's exciting. So right tackle, big dude, almost 6'6", which is good enough for a right tackle. Strong, aggressive. We really
needs to change his number. Needs to change his number though.
What is it? 59.
Yeah, 59 is not a tackle number.
Whatever that is.
Yeah, 56.
Yeah.
Look at him here, just bullying dudes. Man.
Bullying dudes. Now this is against Oklahoma.
That's great technique there. Arms extended, just holding them in place.
You're gonna see
here
him,
again. Like
most of the time, you're gonna see him be the engager and the aggressor, when he locks up with the defenseman.
Texas was pretty much a run heavy first team, so we're gonna see a lot of
Look at him out in space. He's fast.
Look at him out in space, finding the nearest blocker and just pushing them.
That's legit speed for a right
That's
tackle.
speed. It's kind of interesting because we don't have any test numbers, but I'm assuming he would have tested really well.
I agree.
He didn't his pro day. He didn't his pro day either.
We could check.
I'm not sure. We could check. Yeah. Actually, I really want to see what he tested as because I'm assuming it would be good because the eye test on the field in game, he looks like athletic.
Let's see. Should be Cam coming up. He might have passed him.
Interesting.
There we go. Oh, then.
Oh, okay.
Let me see if I can. While y'all showing the tape, let me see if I could.
Okay.
I mean, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I don't think he did anything.
Yeah, I don't think he tested.
Oh, okay. He was
hurt?
He participated in the pro day, but he didn't participate in all the drills due to a knee injury he sustained in the playoffs.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, it said that he's still in rehab, but it's reportedly yeah, he'll be good by training camp.
That's probably why he's dropping the draft.
Hey,
that makes sense.
I'll take it. So check out this play.
I'll take it, yeah.
This play shows the aggressiveness, the strength, and I mean this is he creates his hole and he ends up pancaking the guy. But look, he creates a barrier, gives this guy a cutback lane, and pancakes him.
It's similar to what we saw in Ozzy, where he's just a bully. He's just
look at this
manhandling dudes.
He also has this intelligence about him, right? Like
that's
looking for the second guy coming.
Now
watch his head. He's looking for the next guy. He's ready for it.
The one thing I'll say about him, why I actually like him more than Ozzy, because I think he's smarter. He is also a better athlete, and on top of that, like being at Texas with that system, especially with Quinn Ewers at the end of the day, like is a system quarterback.
Yeah,
I mean, they're a run heavy team. Like he has a big role in that sense.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's good. He's good.
He's good, man. And the crazy thing about it, he's being projected as a
Late
later
third.
pick, so
Yep.
a late third, fourth round pick. So
Yeah, we just like the way he plays.
and look right here, watch that, just bullying.
He bullies guys a lot. Pancakes.
Again,
Throwing
another
guys to the
pancake.
ground. Yeah, very strong.
His technique also, like we're talking about his shape, but his technique it's not like his technique. He has great technique. He extends his arm. He's physical. He's good footwork as well.
I'd like
He's
to see
quick
his
on
feet
his
get a
feet.
little faster, but
Yeah, his feet needs to. That's why I wish
he has
we
good
had
footwork. It's just
testing
not
scored.
fast enough. Yeah.
Yeah, he has good footwork, but it's not like Connerly fast. Connerly's footwork
Yeah,
was
totally.
pretty quick.
But look at that. I mean, he's just flipping the whole slate of this play around.
And that's probably why he's a right tackle, to be honest with you,
Watch him here.
because
Just,
he's not as quick on
I mean,
the
that
feet
dude,
as.
he makes the whole hole. He pushes like 3 guys back and
Mhm.
makes that hole. Yeah, he's a stud, man.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like why? Because I was kind of think like Kelvin Bates is being talked about a lot, but why is this guy not? It makes sense because of the injury now. That's probably why he's falling. Because
Yeah.
he probably would have been like an early second rounder.
No,
Like
I
right here,
completely
look at
agree.
him getting out in
Right
front
there.
in space, and look, just finding the
that.
next guy and just
Look how fast he gets to the second level on this next play. Joe, check this out. He gets a nice little push on this guy, and then bam, linebackers
boom.
engaged. I mean, that
Push
probably scores. That probably secures a touchdown right there. To be honest, look at him get out of
Nice
space.
swim.
Right
Look
here.
at that, dude.
That see
That's
that
a-
block right there's a difference from a 3-yard gain and a first down.
Do you see the way he wants to aggressively knock everyone off balance? That's the
Mhm.
difference between what we were
Exactly.
talking about earlier with Connerly.
Yeah.
Again in
Swim,
space.
move out, boom.
Again, boom, straight in the chest.
Hey,
I
Again,
love it.
holding
I love how
guys
he's
just
swinging. Yeah.
he's solid.
Man,
he's
he
just,
had,
he's just
he had a hell of a game against Colorado State. Dude.
Yeah.
he's also has a very good base. That's what I noticed as well. He doesn't.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen him get pushed off of his base.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, these are obviously highlights, but yeah.
These are highlights in the day. That is true. So we have to remember that.
Oh yeah.
But
If we do end up drafting, we're gonna go way more.
we're gonna go even more in depth
Everybody,
once we draft. Whoever we draft.
Look at that, dude. But look, like he's pushed this guy like 7 or 8 yards off the line of scrimmage, horizontally. That guy's number 8 here is nowhere near the play. That's his job.
And that's the thing about this. Like he, out of everyone on the O line, he pops out. Like
even more than
pops
Banks.
out.
Like watch this play.
Even more than Banks.
The the run is to the right. Who is the guy here pushing the entire pile to the right? 2 guys creating that hole. It's freaking Cameron Williams. He's erasing 1 or 2 guys every single play.
Look there, sends a guy to the ground.
2 guys here. I love the way.
Look at that! I love that switch.
He's a really
man.
smart player.
He's smart, man. He's so good with his switch play. He just knows when to pass a guy off and go to the next.
Even
guy.
last video where we were watching Trapilo, we were talking about how a couple of times he seemed like he didn't know who he was going to go after in the second level. This guy never has that. He always knows exactly who he's going after to block in the second level. Look at that, by the way. That was a run-saving block. He swapped from his guy in the interior to the rusher. Watch him save this run play, because that guy was going to catch up to him from behind.
Yeah, he has great game awareness, man. He's aware of his surroundings. He's smart.
That's super important in the Rams offense, bro.
Yep.
Exactly, yeah.
The intelligence part is
because we're gonna have we run a lot of switches, by the way, and he already is.
I mean, us not running the switch actually costed us the semifinal game.
Yeah, that's true.
That's switching is very important in offense, man. Gotta get done.
And he already has a skill. Like a lot of times, like these college guys, they don't have that skill set developed, or they're just not as aware. And that's something that's so special to find.
Yeah, for sure.
Look at that again. Just bullying dudes, man. Getting that push, he created that right there.
Yep. Get him off of you. Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, he's aptly called a bully at the on the O line.
Oh, man,
He is
open that hole right
manhandling guys. There's no
physically
question about that.
physically imposing.
I kind of wish he would have done the bench press. To be honest, I think he would have scored really well.
Yeah, he probably would have. I think he's strong.
Love the way he
man.
uses his arms. Love the way he uses his size.
He's always like, and that's another thing, right? He's always trying to progress into the second level. He
Mhm.
engages one guy, then he gets into
That was a
quick.
great pass blocking set, dude.
Mm-hmm.
If he can get, like we talked about, his main issue is his feet aren't quite fast enough. He can get a little bit of more speed in his footwork, he's gonna be a beast at the next level. Look at that switch again, dude. Saving the play, beautiful.
Again, right
Spin
here,
move not working.
That's what I think. Like he has such a great base.
You know what's funny about this play? I said to myself, how in the hell did Quinn Ewers shed 2 sacks? And then I realized this is Arch Manning. Look at him shed these 2 sacks, bro. Look at it though. Yeah. Oh no, the next play, sorry. This one. He just shrugged off 2 sacks. Right here and here. And dude's still on his feet. See that? Man, Arch is gonna be good, bro. Arch is gonna be good. All right.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like when I was talking about like his base, right? Like
yeah,
in the NFL level, like these edges, they counter moving is always a thing. Like after the first initial move, they'll always counter move. So he's already prepared for that. He doesn't get offset from that, and that's the thing he's going to be tested by, especially when he plays the elite edges.
Right. And you consistently see him getting people off balance and never being knocked off balance himself. That's because he's making the initial engagement and an aggressive one at that.
Yep.
All right, that's enough. Let's head over to inside linebacker. So those are the 3 guys that we're looking at. Inside linebackers is an interesting story. Now, we actually didn't really care for any of the early guys that are getting a lot of hype, except for Carson Schwetzer.
You see how they
kind of an overrated class, to be honest.
We really didn't like Jihad Campbell. Quick rundown. He's hyper athletic, but he has no technique, not even in tackling. He has very poor instincts. He doesn't know which hole to hit. Gap integrity. The whole thing is an issue. It's troubling. I'm expecting him to be a bust unless he really develops at the NFL level. All of the fundamental things that you got to develop. Demetrius Knight is okay, and we kind of just left it at that. He's an okay, kind of decent at everything. Inside linebacker, Carson Schwetzinger is a beast. Really beast, good.
And probably my favorite guy in this class.
And then you have a whole slew of guys: Chris Paul Jr., Jeffrey Bassa, who are really small, undersized, and it shows in the film.
That was kind of a common theme this class.
Yes. And then we've got Jack Kaiser, Kobe King, who are solid. Would not be mad if we took them in the 3rd or 4th round. They're solid guys. They're going to be decent at the next level. Cody Simon, kind of a step up from them, a little bit above solid. And then we have Cody Lindenberg, who is a beast. He kind of picture him as a smaller Jack Campbell, but very technically sound, very aggressive, strong, powerful tackler. Danny Stutzman is the gem of this draft.
Yep, he's my favorite by far.
Danny's a monster, dude.
He is.
He's
the most athletic. I know Jihad Campbell had a higher RAS, but Stutzman is a much larger player. So his athletic score is much more impressive.
I think Stutzman's 6'3", 6'3.5", 230, 240. It's crazy.
You guys are gonna see Stutzman. He's the guy that I think he's mine and OJ's favorite, and then Carson is your favorite, Joe.
Yeah, but I think Danny's better though. Okay. As a player, I just like Carson's game. I just like that the way Carson plays.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the film. Jay Higgins, he's like
most overhyped prospect.
220. He is tiny, and the film is just ugly. It's really he's the most overhyped guy.
He's being overhyped.
He's a corner playing at linebacker.
Yeah, it's.
The only thing he brings to the game is some decent coverage skills, but it's not enough to take him this high. And then Teddy Buchanan from Cal is a freaking. Not only is he athletic, not only is he fundamentally technically sound, but he's a lot of fun to watch. He just plays the linebacker position with like a certain level of reckless abandon that's really fun to watch.
He plays his emotions on his sleeve. He's just, like I said, similar to Verse, like those type of guys. Those guys matter as well. In the Rams, they like to factor that. Like how much you love playing that position, and he seems to love playing.
We're gonna start with Cody Lindenberg because he's our honorable mention guy at inside linebacker. So physically, 8.17, good arms, good hands, 6'2", 236, a little bit on the smaller side, but not too small. And then kind of just average athleticism around the whole summit here, but the 3-cone is really good. He's a very agile guy, and you're going to see that on the film. Statistically, he's a 5-year. What's up?
No, you can continue. I'll say it after.
5-year guy. This last year is a senior in Minnesota, 94 total tackles, 5 tackles for loss of sack, interception, 6 pass deflection. He's really just an all-around solid player.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to say one thing. We talked about, like, he's smaller size, but on film he looks pretty thick, on the thicker side. So
he does, because he's a little shorter at 6'2".
Yeah, shorter, right? So that's say he has like juiced arms. He's a thick torso.
He's 45, and he's right here in the middle. Let's take a look at some of this film. First play is him in coverage, and he's really smart. He's a really smart player. He kind of has that cannon quickness, even though athletically you wouldn't see it because his 10-yard split was really bad. But he does tend to shoot out of a cannon, and I think that's not due to really quickness. More of it is solid instincts.
Man, I wish they had a circle, man, where people could see.
I know. I'll try to highlight him as best I can, but he's right here. This is a really good play because he uses some patience trying to because really there's 2 gaps the running back could go through, so he's using some patience, and then when he gets it, he kind of shoots through there and makes a really nice form tackle. You're gonna see this guy get low a lot. Low man wins. This guy's gonna get low a lot. This is a great one because this highlighted something that Omar Speights had to do a lot last season with Christian Roseman, which has come from the opposite side to make the tackle because the guy next to him is oftentimes clueless. So watch him right here, literally sprint across the entire formation to make this tackle. And that dude had to dive to make that tackle, still did it nicely. So we got him up here, it looks like. He comes from across the whole thing again, never gives up on the play. Smart heads up, good motor. We got him right here. So he's reading the play. And again, he kind of just reads it, and then when the hole becomes apparent of where the running back is headed, he kind of darts through there.
He has great sideline to sideline ability. He reads the hole, he's good footwork, he shuffles his feet, and he just, whenever running back engages, he engages and just makes a sound tackle.
You guys can see why we're talking about him being a small Jack Campbell, it's because he's really top heavy. He's got a big upper body, he's strong. He's up here getting into position, sheds the block on big 73 and makes a stop. All right, let's see. He is up here, looks like. Look how patient he is. 55 is just running into the block. That his partner in crime is not very smart. So he's just running.
We kind of make a joke. It's like similar to Spates and Roseman.
Yeah, he's playing next to Christian Roseman.
He's playing against Roseman.
So look at the patience though. He's looking, and as soon as it becomes in, he goes in. He gets low. He makes the tackle. Looks like he's up here. You can tell by the way he's pointing and motioning people that he's the quarterback of the defense as well.
Yeah.
By the way, I love this play. Look how low he gets. He gets blocked by the fullback and still makes the tackle. That's him on the ground, wrapping the legs right there beneath the block. That was a heads up play. By the way, that was third and 3. So huge play for them. He's right here, dropping back in coverage. Just being
reads
aware.
The screen, man.
What a tackle, man.
That's honestly one of the best plays. That's one of the best plays.
The reason he makes this play is because he is processing. He's instinctually processing the play faster than the O lineman can react to where he's at. The O lineman's trying to see who to block. Before he even gets a chance to get set, he's darted past him and getting the tackle.
As soon as the ball is out, he just explodes into tackle position and just makes a sound tackle.
He's just
this is another great play.
His instincts and his just IQ level at linebacker is so good. I think he's the top one. Yeah. Oh no, he wasn't. He was the bottom one. Let's watch that.
Bottom one, yeah.
I love his patience, man. He just waits for the play to develop, and then he instinctually goes through where he needs to go through. Coverage, I think he's right here.
Yeah, he's on the left. Yeah, I think he comes out of his coverage spot.
That's third and 17. Yeah, he comes out when it becomes apparent he needs to put pressure and wraps the tackle up. He's right here. But you could tell by without even highlighting him because he's the guy making the smart play.
Mm-hmm.
Look at him, just patience, and then bursting through and making the tackle.
And that's the thing. One thing as well, it's very apparent is that he's not allowing guys to drag him for 2, 3, 4 extra
100%.
yards. He's bringing them to the ground instantly. That's what you're supposed to do as a linebacker.
He's not doing the Troy Reader special. They're not moving.
Yeah,
now, watch this play. Look how fast he diagnoses the screen, and look how fast he gets out in space to get it done. A little bit of a bad angle too. It wasn't.
So this was probably the first time out of all the plays where he made a mistake. Where on his pursuit angle, he kind of cut south a bit too quickly. If he kind of kept that, you see here, he kind of stopped and cut south. If he kept going, what's it called west,
he probably makes
and towards the numbers, he makes the tackle. Yeah,
an NFL running back is probably breaking that and getting up.
See, that's something the NFL running back is probably breaking that. So yeah. This was just a different play.
I mean, he just look at him. The holes, man. He sees the holes so well.
He died. That's one thing that Omar Speights does so well is that he's so good at diagnosing the hole, hitting it in the pursuit.
Great job on the coverage, forcing the quarterback to keep it, and then he disengages and makes a tackle. This is just a heads.
This was a great. This is a great.
We get
play.
to see him in coverage a little bit against his tight end. He's got his man covered well. Then 33 blows it. He comes up with the recovery and watch this full blown punch out of the ball.
He knows the runner has no idea where he is. The receiver has no idea where he is. He goes straight for the ball. Boom, ball out.
What were you saying, Joe?
Cody was the honorable mention too, right?
Yeah, he's our honorable mention guy.
Okay. We'll make it through.
We got 3 more studs to watch here. Some of these videos are a bit longer. We're not going to watch the whole things.
Yeah.
We encourage you guys to go watch film on these guys because they are studs. Here he is down here. Yeah, again, absolutely. Reading out the freaking screen, gets low, makes a tackle. Watch a couple more, then we'll swap. 45 right here, motioning because he's the captain of the defense. Just explosive.
Just explodes from the ground, through. Makes tackle. That's crazy. He explodes through. He actually gets hit to the ground by the tackle and still makes the tackle on the ground.
Right here. Coverage again. Again, look how fast he reads this play.
Got DB whiffs. He makes the secure tackle.
Very solid tackler. Very good form. He's down here at the bottom. The guy just gives up.
Read the QB draw instantly.
He's right here. Just reading the play all the way along, making sure he's got the angle. Patient. All right, one more. Oh, he's blitzing. It looks like. Oh, I love this play. So he's right here on the line. Watch him feint to the out and then get in, make the sack. The replay of this is good.
Oh yeah, man.
He's right here. Watch him. I think it was supposed to be a stunt. He was creating room for the edge, but then saw the whole thing was wide open.
Because the edge was supposed to come inside, but that didn't end up happening.
All right, next we have Carson Schwetzinger from UCLA. I mean, 90 solo tackles, which is the most in that conference. 136 total, 9 tackles for losses, 4 sacks, 2 interceptions, and 3 pass deflections. This guy does it all, and he does it all well.
He was balling, man.
Carson Schwetzinger. Check out these numbers. He didn't do a lot, but when you jump in 40 inches at 6'2", 242, you're a big dude. Long arms,
I assumed he would have tested well because he's pretty athletic on film.
Let's see. Yeah. Let's just go ahead and get on to the film here. We can do the draft thing after the fact. Let's do this one.
Joe, you said this was your favorite guy, right?
Yeah, Carson was my favorite.
He just likes stylistically the way he plays.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Carson.
He's 49. Check him out though.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a great blitzer. He's very quick. He's very fast. Like
He's good. And one thing you'll notice about him, like the big difference with other guys, he's just super quick at the point of attack. He just instantly just goes.
he has a different
That's the thing
style.
I
Look how
love
low he
about
gets. Look how low he gets, guys. Look how low he gets for this tackle. He's going to be the low man. Now, he's a little bit differently than the like. So when we watched Cody just now, he's very patient. He's waiting for the things to develop. This guy tends to pick the hole and dive and just sprint through it, but he's really smart, so he tends to pick the right hole more often than not. He's very. By the way, this would be a good compliment to Omar Speights, who also is a bit more of that patient, instinctual player.
Calculated,
This guy is. He's just gonna freaking fly through the hole and make a tackle. Look at the shuffling of the feet, guys. He's very quick. He's very agile.
His
footwork is
actually,
elite. It's elite.
It's
really
elite.
is.
Honestly, like it's similar footwork
Look
to
at
that of a
this.
DB. To be honest with you, he has similar footwork to a DB. His feet are that quick.
Look how he tracks the ball through the line, man, all the way across the line to make the tackle.
Not many guys can do that because they don't have the quickness of their feet. Some guys would over pursue.
Bro,
They would miss
this
the
is
hole.
elite football right here.
This was amazing. This is amazing right here. This is amazing.
First
Oh
of all,
my
the
goodness.
footwork that is required.
The sidestep here. The sidestep here is crazy.
And then just a great form tackle. Not another inch. Here he is in coverage.
Coverage play.
Yeah.
Reads the quarterback's eyes, makes the play.
Read it.
See, I love how the entire time he just kept his eyes on the quarterback, dropping back, then makes the play.
Yeah, he's legitimately a stud.
He's a complete player, man. He's a complete player.
He is so good. He's so good at keeping his eyes on the ball.
I can't get over about how good his footwork is. I just love it because the main reason I'm highlighting it is because we've been so used to the last couple of years with these stiff linebackers that we've had, Hummel, like Reader, like Roseboom, these stiff guys.
Look at this. Now, this is how good his instincts are, right? You could easily just try to jump through this gap right here because it's huge. Mm-hmm. But look how he actually has some patience to him. But look at him. As soon as he realizes the guy, look at the acceleration. As soon as he realizes he's not going for the immediate gap, look how fast he accelerates to the next gap. Bro, he's always low. He's always the low man, always form tackles. Look at that in coverage, bro.
Great coverage, man.
You know what's funny? This looks like one of the drills they do at the combine. He's shuffling his feet to the side, he's shuffling it back, and then he's going the opposite direction. Look at this play all the way through. He goes, so he's going to go right, then he's going to go back, and he's going to go left.
Yeah.
And that's why you do that test.
He stayed, by the way, that's a touchdown. There's no one there in the secondary.
Yeah.
If we look back, that DB's not making that play.
He's gone, bro. He's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
And
There's no one there.
A form diving tackle. He grabs the thighs and drops down. Never lets go. Freaking.
He's not tackling high at his torso.
So he's lined out. He's lined up outside on this one. In coverage. Great coverage. Oh, he picks that off.
Great play. Instinctual. Again, there, just his tackling form is also great. Just always a low man.
I think he has the best footwork of anyone in this draft.
Yeah, clear. His footwork is phenomenal. He's just so quick. It's a shame he didn't test because I wanted to see exactly what
his agility scores were.
I'm assuming his agility scores would be crazy.
I looked it up. He did a private pro day, but he had they have his numbers. You could probably look it up online. They have his numbers from his pro day. I don't think he didn't run a 40 though, but they have his vertical and his broad jump, his cone drill and stuff like that.
Let's take a look. Oh, they didn't even say what he did. Okay, thanks for that.
It's on there.
There we go.
Right there.
Oh yeah. I was dead on. Great broad, 6.93 cone. By the way, we were talking about other guys. So he did a good 3. Oh, he didn't do a 3 cone. Who was it that had a good 3 cone? Buchanan, 7.24. I want to say this 3 cone at 6.9 is like going to be over 9 on the 3 cone. And the shuttle as well. Both of those are elite. Let's see. Let's pull back up. Let's check out Dumas Johnson here. See what he got. No, he didn't do it. What was the guy? Let's do.
Check Jahad Campbell.
Okay, that's a good. It's a good idea. Oh, he has 2 A's in his name. Okay. Nope.
Oh, he didn't even.
Who was it?
Okay.
We just had someone. Let's support we find. Let's do Cody
Lindenberg.
I think Lindenberg had.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he had a 7 flat and was 8.43. 6'9" is gonna be over 9.
Yeah.
So literally elite footwork.
Yeah, man.
It translates also in the
100%.
NFL field. So I just love his aggressiveness, man. He just hits the hole with full steam ahead. And it's not like he's over pursuing either, and he has bad technique. He's good pursuit angles, and he makes strong tackles.
Rather than aggressive, I would call him decisive.
Decisive, yeah, decisive is a good word because he's not physically imposing.
No, but he's
decisive.
When he diagnoses what's going on, he doesn't hesitate. He just goes.
You see right here, just fits right through.
He's fast though. There's no debating. He's fast.
He's fast. Yeah, he's fast.
Sideline. Yep.
He has sideline speed.
That's one thing the Rams have been killed in so much.
He's a really good blitzer too, bro.
One thing the Rams have been killed with a lot of runs, these outside zone runs where running backs get angles and the linebackers are not able to get sideline to sideline quick enough.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, him and Omar Spates would be a magical pair.
They would be literally. It's a perfect pair if you think about it.
I agree. I would be absolutely.
Because this guy, he's ready to start day one. He's already ready.
And by the way, as much as we love Omar Spates, this guy's starting over Omar Spates. He's a better player.
Oh, definitely. He's a higher ceiling. He's a better athletically as well. Because Omar isn't a crazy athlete.
Omar just hard nosed. He's smart.
Yeah.
Omar is instinctual and he's smart.
Yeah.
Man, this guy just doesn't give up, bro.
Look he just doesn't give up, man. Look, the motor, he's just relentless, man. Relentless.
See that motor, bro? You can't teach that. You can't teach that.
You can't. Yeah, exactly. We say about. That's why we loved.
Who do you guys want to say for last, Buchanan or Stutzman?
Let's do Stutzman.
I'd say Stutzman has to be last. Okay. Yeah.
So let's check out Teddy Buchanan playing for Cal. We agreed he must have probably transferred from.
He probably transferred from. Yeah, I was talking about. He probably transferred from D2 because he's a senior year. Yeah.
Was it Cal? What was the name again? Buchanan.
Teddy. I can. Yeah. Let's see. Teddy Buchanan.
Yeah, I was gonna look it up, but he probably came from somewhere else.
Yeah, he probably transferred.
University. Oh, he came from Berkeley.
Berkeley.
No, that's
Cal. That's Cal. Berkeley's Cal. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Wait,
you gotta look up.
No, he went from Davis to Berkeley. Look, right? Is that two different schools?
Yeah, University of California, Davis, and University of California, Berkeley. Davis does not sound like a D1 school.
I agree. Maybe ESPN.
ESPN should have it.
University of California, Davis. So he came from a D2 school.
Yeah,
he was at a D2 school. Yeah.
I assume this is D2.
Yeah, UC Davis. It's Big Sky.
Big Sky is D2. I've seen those schools. Idaho State. Yeah, that's D2.
First year in D1, 114 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, 4 pass deflections, 2 forced fumbles.
He's a baller.
And I'm telling you, this guy earned every single.
By the way, we're gonna see. We talked about high motors, right? This guy has a high motor. He's high energy. He plays with his emotions on his sleeve.
By the way, just so you don't think we're making fun of how bad Jay Higgins is athletically, 6 foot,
yikes,
224, tiny hands.
Bad, man.
I mean, bro, 4'8", 240. There's old linemen that run faster than that. It's just.
By the way, I don't think we talked about him. He should be a DB. I don't think he would be able to transition to that.
Oh, here you go. Oh, look, there's an updated RAD score with that. Yeah, it says it's hard to see, but that's 954 on the 3 cone, and the shuttle is 935, I think. And then look, it's vertical and broad. So he's a 985 unofficial 40. I don't know why this picture's so tiny, but he's a 985. So yeah, he's literally a athletic freak of nature. Mm-hmm. And you saw the speed on film. His speed, his pad film, his fat speed is legit. Now we're on a Teddy Buchanan, 4.640, which is solid, good shuttle. great explosiveness. By the way, you're going to see this explosiveness on film. He is wildly explosive and he's strong. But the 9'11" bench is no joke. 6'2", 233, a little bit on the small side. I would like to see him add a little bit of weight to that. But guys, the film is he's probably the funnest of the group to watch because he is just a monster. Let's watch. Which one you guys want to watch? This one?
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Gosh, sorry. Okay, let's check it out. Teddy Buchanan, Cal. Oh, we got circles too. Big ones. He's got the long hair. He's easy to spot. But look at
just instantly, he's so explosive. I love it. I love the way he plays.
Look how fast.
Look at that! Instantly, just hitting the hole and just going.
By the way, there was a guy who was attempting to block him. If you guys missed that, there was a guy coming out right here, 55, and he just right past him.
The center.
So, dude stood no chance on blocking my boy Teddy. There he is. Just cutting right between the tight end and the tackle.
He forces two guys to miss their block attempts, by the way. Just cuts right through them.
The explosiveness is literally no joke. Now watch this. I love the tackle. He's aggressive and he's aggressive tackler and he's got some pop to him. That bench press reps, no joke. Look at that, dude.
Oh my God.
That is raw athleticism.
That is crazy. That's a crazy play.
Because what he's doing, I know some people are like, well, why isn't he get? Because he's not. His job isn't to guard number 5. His job is to play his zone, which is shallow. Now he's diagnosing the quarterback's getting ready to pass to the center of the field, and he's backpedaling to. I mean, this is just smart. It's athletic. It's absolutely awesome. Look at the way he diagnoses that play from the get-go. Like he reads the quarterback.
He's on it, man. He's on it, man. He's just again here coverage. Reads the play.
Fast.
He's reading the quarterback's eyes, instantly explodes to the running back.
Sideline to sideline speed, intelligence. He's strong. I mean, bro, he's got it all. Look, that's just a
look. He's covering. Look at that. He's covering the dump off to the tight end, and then makes the.
He was kind of dual. He was being a spy, and he was covering the guy. He was great.
Look at that there.
Ripped it right out.
This is smart. This is just smart because what he sees is that the D lineman has the feet wrapped, right? The guy's wrapped already. You don't need to tackle him. So he just instantly goes in and goes for the strip and gets it. Oh my gosh.
Burst through right through that.
Oh my, he's just so he's like it's like a
Cam Ward's big.
Yeah, man, Cam Ward's huge.
He's just like he's a straight dog. That's just as again, like in terms, in the simple terms, he's a dog.
I could watch this over and over again. Bam, great punch out. You were literally just calling him a dog, and here he is. Watch him. I'm doing this on slow mo. I'm doing this on slow mo. I'm going down speed. This is worth it, not the quality. Where's playback speed? Half speed. He's literally on all fours, crawling over this man like a dog to get this ball.
And this is the stuff we talk about. This was what I was talking about. I said he plays with that high energy. He plays with high effort. He has that motor, and that's something you can't teach. Motor is something that just you either have it or you don't. It's simple as that. So that patient hits the hole, makes the tackle. Not an inch.
Single inch. That's grown man.
It's so refreshing, watching this.
Bro.
Boom.
We just haven't had linebackers who are capable of making plays like this for a long time.
Yep.
Not since we had Bobby Wagner in 2022. Shedding the block, making the tackle. 50 looks silly now. Look at the motor. Bro, he's crazy motor. Yeah, I would love Teddy Buchanan on this team. There's no question.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Any of these guys that we show, even the honorable mention, I would love for them to be around.
Let's just look at
that aggressive tackle.
I love that tackle.
Love it.
Great play. Right on the tight end. instantly brings him down. Here
Yeah,
again.
you're not being fooled by the
Love
fakes.
that shed, man. I love that shed, man. Boom.
And when he grabs you, you're not moving.
Yeah, he's strong. Like he did a 28 bench. Like he's strong. He's not. He's actual
Dude
grown man
just
strength.
bounced off this block attempt, stumbled, and then turned himself around and got the tackle.
When he grabs hold of guys, like they don't go anywhere. He doesn't let go of them. Boom. And that's the thing, you can just tell when he's a guy, like even in those cluster tackles, like you can tell when it's him engaging. Because the guy just instantly stops in his tracks. Here again, pursuit, makes the play, sack.
So explosive, so aggressive. All right. Now, last but not least, Danny
Now,
Stutz.
This guy right here,
he's a freak.
I'll be honest with you, it's kind of crazy. He's not being projected higher, but his ceiling is off the charts. That's
109 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, a sack. By the way, he has 3 years of even better production. This was actually his worst year. I don't know if he was dealing with an injury or anything or what, but this is his worst production year. So he had, look at these years, 11 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 16 tackles for loss, 3 sacks. He also had a lot more in coverage. 8 pass deflections, 3 interceptions, like really good. So also athletically, Stutzman, freaking nature, 4'5'2".
4'5'2".
By the way, he's got a bigger frame, which means he has more weight to add. 6'3", 240 is where he wants to be, and he's going to be a stud.
6'3".
4'5'2" as a linebacker is insane.
Yeah, especially him being 6'3". It's not like he's 6 foot 6'1".
By the way, it doesn't get slower either. His 10-yard split is also fast. 1.56 is insane. All right. Without further ado, folks, Danny Stutzman. I think this is the best guy, and he's going late, so
he has out of everyone, his potential is the highest.
Yeah, I agree.
Great.
Boom! Just that right. Oh my, that's just mean.
By the way, if we didn't say it,
that was perfect technique, bro. That was perfect.
He doesn't get more perfect than that. Like that.
That's Jalen Milroe, by the way, bro. The fastest quarterback.
You're not gonna see. When this guy makes tackles, guys don't move an inch. Right.
Look at that explosion. He's sidestepping. He's looking for the opportunity. He's keeping his eyes on the running back. And the moment he sees the hole, he explodes, and that is a form tackle, folks.
He reminds me of those old school, at least 2090s linebackers, man.
Nice stunt.
He just has that vibe to him.
Nice stunt, bro. Yeah, I agree. He reminds me of an old school linebacker as well.
Boom. That's Jalen Milroe, by the way, who's a big boy.
Fast and big. Bro.
Boom.
Look at the block avoidance here. Who is it? Number 75 is looking to get his hands on him. And he does a little shake. It gets open. And
by the way, for his size, he has great footwork. Like, I mean, it doesn't say the athleticism's off the charts.
By the way, this we're talking about. This is the reason 76 is coming around. The reason you want to be the first to engage, because watch. He's going to knock 76 off balance. Or I guess it's not 76. It's this guy. He knocks him off balance, disengages, and makes a tackle while being blocked because he's so freaking strong. Oh, my God.
Look at that, man. By the way, that's timing. Because if he is just sitting there at the line of scrimmage, he probably gets blocked there. But he times it perfectly.
He's got great instincts, great timing.
I mean, he's smart.
Decisive,
he's instinctual.
Quick, strong. Like, he's the whole package.
He literally, see, out of everyone here, I would say Schlesinger has potential. Maybe has that Pro Bowl potential as well. But out of anyone here that has all pro potential, because he's so athletic, he has such a high ceiling, it's Stutzman. Yeah. He has all pro potential.
Yeah, man. He's
just a complete package, and he ticks all the boxes. Athletically, size, speed.
What I was just looking up, because I just now remember, I was trying to remember if it was him. But just to show how great of a leader he is and how great of a person he is, I don't know if you guys remember the story, but last year, Danny donated $50,000 of his NIL money that he earned. He donated to 18 walk-on players.
I remember that story.
Yeah,
by the way, the Rams. This is something that the Rams. A lot of things they factor into his guy's personalities.
Guys,
he's
Les, I'm begging
Listen,
you to hear
please.
me. This guy
I'm
is
begging
Kyron
you.
Williams,
I'm
but
begging you,
even
please.
better. And he's good at football.
Yeah.
He's actually talented.
I'll be honest with you,
Yeah,
the
man.
Rams. There's linebackers. There's a couple of guys that the Rams don't have an excuse to get.
Jaden
Like, and I'm not
Blue?
talking about like third round, fourth round guys that can easily draft at linebacker.
Yeah.
Bro,
He's special.
he's so special.
He's it's gonna see one thing that would kill me is to see him go to a rival.
Don't.
Like if the Niners draft him.
No, you know who is
Then-
likely to draft him, I think, is probably the Seahawks.
Yeah, I can see Seattle would draft him. Seattle is so good at those late round defenders, mid to late round defending.
Now I have seen some mock draft that had him going that had us picking him though. So
I'm gonna tell you, hey, sneak preview to next week's mock draft. Stutzman is becoming a Ram in our mock draft.
He is honestly. I'm at least
he's
in my
there,
personal mock draft. He's
let
there.
it go, baby.
Yeah.
I'm taking him with a comp third, or I'm even maybe taking him with the higher third.
Just look at that man. He disengages the block. He's shuffling his feet and makes a strong tackle.
The same way I wasn't mad about trading up for Braden Fisk, I wouldn't be mad if we traded up to the beginning of the third to draft him. I think he's a bona fide stud.
Bro, he's the type of guy the Rams want, bro. A leader.
Mm-hmm. He's a personality. He's a teammate.
Works hard.
If we get him, we have the best front seven in football.
This guy is basically he's not just a great player, but he would be our captain of our
quarterback
defense.
of our defense.
Yeah.
He'll be a quarterback.
You guys think that's a hot take? If we draft Danny Stutzman, we have the best front seven in football.
I do not disagree.
Depends how it work out, but to me, our D line is so great that if we have a good secondary linebacker to Omar,
if he reaches that potential,
dude, Omar and Stutzman with our D line is crazy.
Listen. If he is who he is on the NFL football field, yeah, I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
Hey, here's my outlook: trade up to get Tyler Warren and take Stutzman, and just those two guys, and I'm happy camper. You know, and obviously late round picks, but
yeah, and then the late round picks, just find guys to just round out your round out the
exactly.
But if we get two. Yeah. If we make some moves, like we trade up to get Tyler Warren, and then we trade up a little bit to get Danny Stutzman, and that's our only picks in the first 3 rounds, I'm freaking ecstatic.
I'm completely fine with that.
That could be the first in the first 4, bro. I'm cool, bro.
100%.
They're not just plug and play guys who fix holes.
Pro.
They make us. They elevate us. They 100%. Actually move the needle. They move the needle.
Yeah, man. Then let's go get Jalen Ramsey.
I wish.
Dude,
I wish.
If we got Tyler Warren, Jalen Ramsey,
real quick.
Remember what I said about us not being able to become Super Bowl contenders? If we got Tyler Warren, Danny Stutzman, and we got Jalen Ramsey, we might actually be Super Bowl contenders.
I'm not gonna fully forgive Les because he still made mistakes, but I will forgive him to a degree because he still made mistakes.
The problem is
having a great draft is very important. That's still super important to everything.
I'm so pessimistic after free agency that I say we go get Tyler Warren, we get Danny Stutzman, we go get Jalen Ramsey, but the reality is we're gonna give an extension to Keller Williams. We're gonna give Kyron Williams an extension, and then we're gonna go draft Jalen Milroe. We might even trade up for Jalen Milroe. Imagine we trade up for Jalen Milroe. I'm done.
One thing I just remembered that can be concerned that we might potentially not draft a linebacker because we brought that Landman guy from Atlanta, and remember we re-signed Reader. So there's a chance the Rams think, oh, we're set a linebacker. We don't need to draft someone. So that's a concern I would say there.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's a genuine concern, to be honest with you.
All right, everyone. We appreciate you guys checking out the tackles and inside linebackers. We'll be back next week with corners, safeties, and a mock draft right before the draft begins. Appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you guys next episode.
Peace.